My guests today are Lukas and Don. Lukas is the COO of Seek Protocol, whereas Don is the founder and CTO. Welcome, Lukas, and welcome, Don.
Thank you, Andy. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Andy.
It is a pleasure. Let's do what we do at the beginning of the show, gentlemen. It would be cool if you could both introduce yourself. Would love to just hear some of your personal and professional backstory. What have you guys been doing in the lead up to teaming up at Seek? Don, we'll start with you. Yeah, just a bit of background.
Definitely. So my name is Don Reijke, founder of Seek Protocol. Actually started in 2017 building augmented reality applications, focusing on augmented reality technology. Kind of saw like there was a gap, right? The popularity of Pokemon Go was increasing, and I felt like something that was lacking with augmented reality was the overall experience, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel like augmented reality should really focus on immersive experiences, and I felt that was lacking. So that's why I really decided to focus on the technology. Fast forward in 2021, got into cryptocurrency, and I felt like there was a gap to be filled in terms of entertainment and gamification. And that's why I decided to hook up augmented reality technology together with blockchain tech, and focused on building the next Pokemon Go for cryptocurrency. And I met Lukas in 2024. Am I right, Lukas?
December 23. But yeah, close enough.
23. Yeah, it goes a long way back. Met Lukas and partnered up, and now we are here building the next Pokemon Go for cryptocurrency.
I love it. Awesome. Lukas, same for you, please. Just a bit of background. Go for gold.
So my name is Lukas. I've been in crypto also since 2017. Initially started by investing into Bitcoin, ETH, switched to flipping ICOs, and then soon enough I wanted to sort of apply my skills and be part of the whole movement. And that's when I started to sort of explore what projects could I work with, what's sort of missing, what gaps could be filled in the crypto space. And fast forward to December 23 is when I was introduced to Don, and we hit it off. Rest is history. We're now building Seek Protocol, and yeah, we're here to talk to you about it.
Awesome. Very good. Very cool. So yeah, so Don, you said you described Seek Protocol as like Pokemon Go on the blockchain, I guess. So obviously there'll be a little bit more to it than that, as although that's a pretty good summary and a fascinating idea. So yeah, just however you want to kind of dive into this, give us a bit more of the high level vision for what Seek Protocol is, kind of at the intersection of AI, AR, geolocation, and gaming as well. I'm sure Solana. Yeah, just start to lay it out for us, Don.
Definitely. So we actually started building the application in 2021 already, and we hosted numerous betas. And basically what we were doing is trying to test and see what the folks were interested in, right? Like, are they more focused on gaming in terms of fighting monsters in augmented reality, or are they solely focused on collecting crypto and NFTs? So we did numerous betas, and the app had like all sorts of different features where we really had to like pinpoint and see like, okay, but what does the audience demand and what does the audience like? So first beta, we were focused a lot on crypto and NFTs. We created a panel that made us able to drop crypto and NFTs worldwide and for people to collect. So we started monitoring and analyzing user behavior, and we started gathering feedback as well. And what we saw from the overall public is, yes, they like the app. Yes, they like to collect crypto and NFTs worldwide, but it was still lacking a fun experience. So we went back to the working bench, upgraded the app again, and this time we actually added monsters to the augmented reality experience. So users could fight monsters and then earn cryptocurrencies. Then again, we gathered feedback, and people said, yeah, but this is like way too gamey. Like, yes, we want to have an AR experience, but when I'm outside and walking my dog, yes, I would like to have a gamified experience, but I don't want to like fight monsters, because what's the identity of the application, right? Am I fighting monsters, or Am I having a simple experience that's fun and makes me able to earn some? So we went back to the working bench, started adding new features, removing features. And that's where we really got to the point where we were happy with the application and people were happy with it as well. So we focused on users being able to collect these currencies and NFTs, but in a way more gamified experience. So for example, let's say you're walking with the application outside. You see this box, it's in a location. You don't necessarily know what's inside of the box. You walk to the box and the box opens up and an NFT gets out of it. Now, this experience is way more fun than just seeing an NFT laying around because first of all, it adds that mysterious aspect of not knowing what you're going to find. And it gets to the point of like the real life treasure hunt feeling. And this is where we really felt happy with it. So the next step, what we actually did in 2023, we were the first project to actually utilize AI agents into augmented reality already. So we built a frog character called Shanks back in 2023, and you could ask this character everything in AR, and it would showcase you that. So for example, you would ask Shanks, hey, Shanks, is there any place where I can grab some food? And it would give you recommendations on where you could grab food in augmented reality. But besides that, the character could do many more stuff. So for example, you could direct it and tell it like, hey, can you grab me, for example, there was a token outside, can you grab me that ETH coin? And it would actually walk up to the coin and grab it. So we're testing the technology and we already saw that there were many possibilities, right? Eventually the model could even do a dance. You could ask it to dance and it would dance. So 23, it was clear for us that AI technology was also very usable in AR. So now at this state, we have also added AI companions, and these are able to pretty much do everything that you ask it in AR. So from location recommendations, it will pull up a sheet, showcase you different areas and spots, showcase you the website information of many businesses in your area, phone numbers. You can pretty much like dial any phone number straight from the app and call it to book a reservation in a hotel. So yeah, that's cool tech as well.
Yeah, cool indeed. It's funny that it's weird how Pokemon, when it came out, and that was what, I don't know, I want to say like 2016 or something like that. It's quite a long time ago now. So if my math is correct, that's 9 years ago. And it literally took over the world, it seemed, for a while. Like everyone was playing it from, across all age groups, quite a phenomenon. But there hasn't been another game like that is, I don't know, kind of had that same impact. And yet we're 9 years later, so presumably that the technology has advanced. I'd love to just get both of you's kind of, I suppose, thoughts on the state of AR today. Maybe I'm just not following it, and there are lots of people playing these games. Kind of where are we at, or what do we need to happen for that next breakthrough hit to happen? Lukas, let's start with you, and we'll jump into all the different Seek details after this, but let's get a bit of context from you both. What do you reckon?
Yeah, so the state of AR as is, I think right now in 2020 or last year, 2024, total market size of AR was roughly anywhere in between like $60 to $90 billion. And it's expected by 2032, I believe, to be 1.8 trillion, right? So there's like an massive expected growth. The problem is there's been this massive expensive growth sort of dialed in for a long time. So we're just essentially pushing the timelines a bit further into the future each year. And the main reason is obviously the big bottleneck right now is the hardware, because the AR essentially glasses that people could use, they're not really accessible. You have Meta Orion, which is not a consumer product yet. It's a prototype. There's Snapchat spectacles. There's Apple Vision Pro. There's, these big tech companies that are trying to bring a product that could eventually become mainstream. But so far, we're not there yet. So once that happens and real adoption takes place with AR, that's sort of when we will see or start seeing these numbers to actually play out in reality. So that's sort of AR as is today. And you were right as well. Speaking of Pokemon Go, it's by far the best and biggest AR game that's ever been invented. It's also no coincidence that we're just trying to, make a crypto version that will be just as fun or more, obviously with a fresh look, because as much as Pokemon Go has left a big footprint in the world, it has not really been innovating as much as I think they should. So I think that's my take. Don, if you want to add something else.
Yeah, no, I think you covered that perfectly, right? Same take here. And one thing also that I want to add is with augmented reality, there are different things that you have to focus on, right? I think that one of the most important aspects as well is device optimization. It's something that we have actually spent a long time because of, analyzing the app, the use of the app. And one thing is, like, for example, Apple devices are way different than Android devices. So for example, Apple devices, they already have like integrated AR support, and Apple has done that very, very good, right? Like they have native AR support. It's very easy to run AR apps. But we have seen that, for example, on Android devices, the app optimization has to be on point, because else like the device just can't handle it. Devices get overheat issues, battery drainage, and that's something very important. And I feel like a lot of developers don't necessarily really want to focus on those points. So that's also why we see less heavy AR apps. But it's something that we have focused on. So that's also something to keep in mind in terms of AR usage. Yeah.
Yeah, makes a very good sense. Thank you, gentlemen. Well, let's start to talk about Seek, and I suppose like the different Seek products, or the parts of the Seek protocol ecosystem. So I think, Don, you kind of mentioned some of these already, like the AI component, but let's go through them. There's like Seek AR, Seek panel, Seek AI, and of course there's a token as well. So we'll come to that. But just walk us through Seek AR, the panel, and Seek AI, and just explain them a little bit deeper.
Definitely, Andy. So the Seek AR, that's our application, right? Or augmented reality app, the Pokemon Go of crypto. So Seek AR users are able to collect crypto, NFTs, gaming assets from different gaming projects worldwide, and interact with AI companions from different people, different projects. So that's that. But here's something interesting. So when we were building the application, we were already setting up partnerships with different partners to integrate their assets into our application. But we found the process pretty cumbersome, because we had to like get on a call with the project, discuss, what assets they would or want to deliver. Then we had to wait for them to deliver it, and we had to optimize these assets. And we were thinking like, okay, but how can we actually make it easier for projects to participate in the whole augmented reality ecosystem? And that's where we've built the Seek panel. So the Seek panel, it's a dashboard, super easy. You connect your wallet. Once you're connected, you get into the environment, and you're quickly able to turn your assets into 3D models and deploy them in the application. So one of the first things, right, that we've mentioned is users are able to create like cryptocurrencies. So say, for example, you're a project owner, you have your project, you simply connect with the tool, you pay the fee in Seek tokens, and you're able to deploy, for example, you drag your logo to the dashboard, and it will create a 3D token in literally a second. And you're able to deploy this in augmented reality. So what this does, it makes it able and easy for every creator out there to deploy their assets into AR for people to collect these. But we've actually took it a step further. So we are currently building it out even more, so that users will be able to set up AR campaigns in a few clicks of a button. They can set up their whole experience, what they want to offer to the user base and to the users of the application. They can deploy it worldwide. So whatever location they would wish to deploy it, they can deploy it. Users using the application will get a notification, hey, a new live event is live, or hey, a new token got added to the application, and they're able to hunt these. So it's actually a great marketing tool as well, because it definitely adds, a whole different way of marketing your project or product. So that's the Seek panel. And then
let's just pause there, because it looks, your website does a really good job, by the way, of kind of explaining these different products. And there's a great demo, listeners, just if you want to see the demo and dive into the different products. The website is Seek Protocol AI. But just so on the panel, so if someone's got, because I know this is potentially really useful for people deploying meme coins on Solana, I guess. That would be like a huge use case there if you want to kind of drive some community behind the coin, or to reward them, or do some kind of gamified airdrop. I can see like lots of different possibilities there. But how would it work in terms of how is it limited to like one specific location, or how do you kind of deal with that?
So location, pretty much the whole Earth globe is your playground, right? Your digital playground. So users are able to deploy their campaign, token, NFTs wherever in the world they wish to. But as we're working with different users as well, we can showcase in the panel like what locations are hot right now on the globe, so that users are also able to understand like, oh, hey, this location is interesting because, for example, there were 20,000 hunters during the days over there collecting assets. So, hey, I'll deploy it there because it's an interesting location, right? But yeah, everywhere. So let's say there's an event going on as well, token 2049, you're able to deploy your assets there as well, on the location, on the go. So.
All right, makes sense. Yeah, please continue with those other products.
Yes, definitely. And then we have Seek AI. So Seek AI is the component, right? The AI component in the application that we've mentioned. But it's more than just, giving recommendations in the application. So for example, projects can also set up an AI agent into the application to host quests. So users will be able to collect experience points into our application because we have thought about something, right? We have noticed that Pokemon Go is so addictive to people as well because they're able to collect different Pokemons, but it's not guaranteed that it will capture the Pokemon straight away, right? They need different Pokeballs, better Pokeballs to actually capture these Pokemons. In our application, what we have done is we've actually focused on experience points. So you level up in the application. Every rank has a name attached to it and a badge. So we look into, okay, hey, what's relatable for the crypto folks? So we've set up our ranks to be focused on, kind of different terms out of the crypto world. For example, if you start with a low rank, you're a shrimp, but eventually you build up your rank until your whale status in the application. The higher your level, the higher the chance is that you actually capture a coin successfully and add it to your portfolio. So that's the gamification aspect, right? And now back to the AI components, right? The AI companions. So these will be able to actually host quests in the application. And by completing these quests, so for example, your project, it's called Dog World. The Dog World AI companion will host a quest in the application, guide people on what they have to do in terms of challenges. And if they complete these challenges successfully, they gather XP. And this XP is useful for leveling up. So the AI companions can do lots of stuff in the game. They can also generate 3D assets. So they can actually host a wall quest with AI generated assets for people to also collect. So yeah, it definitely adds to the experience.
Yeah, all right. Sounds fascinating. Lukas, let's bring Lukas back in. Anything else to add on I don't know, any of those products? I think the AI one's particularly interesting. I think I saw something in my notes when I was researching that you could even tokenize some of these AI companions. Is there a way to do that?
Yes. So we actually are building a marketplace. Users will be able to actually tokenize these AI companions and trade them on the marketplace. So let's say you're interested into a fully trained AI model that does, different tasks, and it's already pre-trained. You can buy it off the marketplace by utilizing the Seek tokens. The project takes a little fee, so that also gets added to our treasury. So yeah, that's pretty much explains how that works.
I like it. All right, let's talk. Let's go to Lukas. What should we talk? Should we talk roadmap? Just kind of give us an idea of where we are on the product journey. And look, listeners, there's actually a roadmap on the website as well that is reasonably detailed. So it has all this information. But Lukas, just kind of give us an idea of where we're at, what's live, what's in the pipeline, etc.
Absolutely. So right now, Seek is in the pre-sale. Like we started hosting the pre-sale several weeks ago. We've completed our angel round. We've completed or are about to complete our seed as well. And once we finalize the pre-sale, we'll have our TGE. Obviously, that will depend on how quickly we actually raise all the funds that we need for proper liquidity pool, proper marketing, also for the development costs. And essentially the next big milestone for us that will be available, I would say this or next week, is when we'll start to essentially invite people to our closed beta. Right, we've worked with a UI agency. We've completely revamped all the previous versions of the app, and we're making sure that people will have the best experience possible. Everything needs to be very seamless, intuitive, and that's what we've worked diligently on for the past several months. Now, that's sort of the next step. I believe we'll finalize the race after the beta's already out there, and I think it's better that way as well, because people will be actually able to test the app and see all the different features and all the, get a taste for what the app will actually be like once it's live. And then the big event on our timeline is obviously the final launch of the app on the App Store. That's the Apple App Store plus the Google Play Store, and as well as the Solana App Store. We're launching on Solana, so our big focus is also the Solana Seeker device, the Solana Seeker phone, which is Solana's second generation mobile phone that the dev started to produce. So we plan to tie the release of the final launch of the app with the deliveries of the Solana Seeker devices. And the reason behind it is, if people have been following the whole journey of the Solana mobile team, they released the Solana Saga, which was the first generation mobile device. And they had 20,000 pieces in production, and it was limited to 20,000. They did not plan to produce any more. And they were not the biggest success straight off the bat. But because every single phone comes with a specific NFT, and every single phone comes with different airdrop allocations from different projects in the Solana ecosystem, one of these projects was Bonk, the famous Solana meme coin. And what happened in one afternoon, the price of Bonk that was allocated on these phones was actually higher than the price of the phone itself. And so one good afternoon, I still remember the date till now, all of the phones, the remaining supply sold out in hours. That was in the US market as well as in Europe. And this sort of caused this whole frenzy that all of a sudden you can now buy tech that actually pays for itself. And Solana Seeker, essentially the team behind working on the deliveries of the phones and the partnerships, they're trying to accomplish the same or similar thing with the Solana Seeker. So if you're thinking about CKR, we're also about hunting rewards and collecting tokens, collecting NFTs. So we feel like this would be a really good catalyst for us to work, launch on the Solana ecosystem, and then try to work as closely as possible with the Solana mobile team and Solana Gaming to make sure that we can also hopefully tie in other projects from the ecosystem to allocate some of these rewards inside of our app.
Yeah, fascinating. That makes a lot of sense. Do you guys have is there a number to the guys that are making that next model of phone? Is there a certain number of models that they're trying to hit? Do you know?
Yeah, so currently, I don't have the latest number, but I'm assuming the latest number that we had was about 160 or 180,000 pre-orders. So I'm assuming now it's over 200,000 because that was a few months ago. So yeah, that's at least 10x of the previous generation. And that's why we also feel like targeting Solana Seeker users first and foremost, and they will have special privileges in the app. They will have special perks that users of non-Solana Seeker devices will not have. So we're definitely trying to make that happen this way.
Yeah. So, and obviously you guys are deep in the Solana ecosystem, so it'd be fascinating to get both of your guys' perspectives on, I guess, just everything Solana, from, Solana itself as a chain. How is the Solana community looking? What is the state of the Solana meme coin ecosystem? Is that sustainable? Just kind of love to get your thoughts. Solana's been a wild ride. I mean, the history of crypto is crazy, but the history of Solana is, a kind of craziness personified. Don, let's start with you. Just, whatever you want to share, just thoughts on Solana. Where are we at?
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny that you're asking about that, right? Because Lukas is like an absolute Solana fan. Everything about Solana is, him talking about the Solana memes and the Solana this and Solana that. But my overall take on Solana is I love it that it has fast transactions, right? The transactions there are just absolutely fast. It's easy to work with. We're using the GameShift SDK made by Solana. Super easy to also integrate into gaming applications. So the tech is there. One thing that I would say is that what I've noticed is that there's just one issue that Solana is still struggling with, and we saw that with the Trump coin and the Melania coin, is that then out of the sudden fees were way more expensive, and there was just an overload on the network. If Solana can actually tackle those issues and make sure that that also works seamlessly, I feel like Solana just hits the nail on its head. In terms of projects on Solana, I hope to see many more builders of actually more utility-based applications and more games, so that we can, take away the whole aspect of Solana being the meme coin casino that people are talking about. But we're seeing this increase. We're talking to other builders as well on Solana, so I feel like, eventually we'll get there. And if Solana actually focuses as well on really pushing projects forward that focus on utility, I think that Solana can be in a great spot. So that's my take.
Makes sense. All right, Lukas, I'm sure you've got thoughts. Hit us with your Solana takes.
I think I would just like to add on also, like it's undeniable the adoption of the Solana ecosystem. The transactions are super fast, super cheap. Obviously it doesn't come with any negative parts as well. Solana's been down several times as well, so they definitely have something to work on still. But overall, looking at Solana Pay, their integration with Shopify and the whole e-commerce aspect of it, I feel like chain selection was, I would say, because as well, I mean, tying into the memes as well, you've mentioned the Solana meme coins, right? Are they sustainable or not? I feel like meme coins are going to be around no matter what. Probably not in as crazy volumes as they have been in the past couple of months. That definitely felt like a bit of a bubble. But I think it's important as well to, like, memes have been part of the internet culture and part of crypto since its inception. It's a big reason why I like to work in this space, because memes are just really, I feel like, part of culture of mankind. Like, it's goes across all genders, all races, all ages, all social classes. Everybody likes memes. And we have integrated a bunch of memes into the app as well. And part of the badges are part of it too. And I'm excited for everybody in the audience and yourself to also eventually experience it in app. So I think, as far as then integrating the Seek panel as well, which is essentially, it enables to add utility to meme coins. Most meme coins are on Solana. There's definitely other runner-ups that are not to be frowned upon, but as far as where we are and what we're trying to provide to the space, I feel like Solana was an obvious choice.
Yep. Very well said. Very well said. All right. Well, look, as we start to finish up this part of the podcast, gentlemen, just again, just tell people what they need to know in terms of what is coming next, what they need to look out for in terms of the Seek token. If they want to get involved with the beta, how can they do that? How can they be an early participant and just kind of get involved? Don, what should people do and where should they go? What do they need to know?
So I think first and foremost, I feel people should definitely follow our socials so they can get up to date on everything that we're doing. So the next steps really are the enclosed beta launch. And the fun thing about this is actually we'll host challenges into our community for people to actually win a access key to get access to the application. And besides that, we're rolling out the panel as well in the coming weeks. So projects will be able to be to utilize the panel already. Now, the interesting thing is it will be free for now, so that as many projects can test it out and see how that goes. But eventually the Seek token will be integrated into the panel and will serve as a fee. Lukas, you want to add anything on top of that?
So what I want people to focus on is definitely our socials, where we upload all the announcements, all the different partnerships that we are putting in place. We'll also be at the Dubai conference Token 2049 end of April. So if anybody wants to meet and talk, we'll be happy to meet them there. So just reach us via our Telegram community. And yeah, I think we've been covering pretty much most of it.
Awesome. And link, of course, is in the show notes, folks. But otherwise, just go to seekprotocol.ai. And gentlemen, it is time to start to finish off the episode. And we do that, of course, by running you both through the very famous crypto conversation hot take round. Are you up for it?
Definitely.
Let's do it. So what I'm going to do, gentlemen, is I'm just going to we'll take it in turns. I'll direct a question to each of you in turn. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just a bit of fun how we finish each episode off. Just want you to give me your honest answers, hot take styles, if you like. Let's start with you, Don. The question for you is, it's a bit of a funny one for you, but let's see what you have to say. Where would you say that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-chain opportunist spectrum?
That's a good question, actually. I'd say I'm between in the middle. Like, I'm not necessarily, full big on Bitcoin maxi. I'd say definitely in the middle.
Middle is, I think that's an absolutely okay place to be. Everything can coexist. All right, let's go to Lukas. Question for Lukas is, what would you say is your firmest conviction crypto opinion?
Not your keys, not your crypto.
Oh, I like it. That's, not even a hot take, but yeah, very true, very true. All right, Don, look, Bill Gates famously said that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. Now, 10 years is a long time in crypto. It's a long time in AR, VR, the convergence of all these technologies. But look, anything you like here, Seek Protocol, Web3, AR, what does it all look like in 10 years' time?
10 years, we'll definitely see everyone with augmented reality glasses on, collecting crypto and NFTs worldwide, having interactions with advertisements in AR, and we actually being on the forefront of that.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. All right, Lukas, William Gibson, sci-fi author, famously said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. With that in mind, can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people aren't aware of it?
I think it ties into sort of us being also in our own crypto bubbles, where sort of we are in the space every single day. We're building, we're talking to people that are building as well. People that are using the products, people that are using all these different features and possibilities that sort of crypto offers. But then we assume that everybody else is on the same, has the same information, has the same knowledge. But oftentimes I'm faced with the reality where literally if I sort of go outside and talk to a random person, they have no clue what is actually going on. So I feel like any sort of anybody who's at the forefront of any sort of evolving industry, or whether it's technology or otherwise, sort of lives in that bubble as well, where we believe that kind of like same like with AI now, right? We feel like everybody's on Grok, ChatGPT, using all these tools, but in reality, I don't think the reality is that way.
I think you're exactly right. For example, I don't know if your average everyday person is really aware that you can have a full-on, live action sex conversation with Grok sexy voice mode, or Grok, what's the insane one they call?
Unhinged.
Unhinged. You should really get Grok to roast you hard.
About the sexy voice.
Yeah. And look, gentlemen, it brings us nicely to our final question, actually, and we'll get both of you to have a go at it. Don, you can go first. Very simple. What is your favorite science fiction book, film, or TV show?
Star Wars. Without no doubt. I was a huge Star Wars fan ever since I was young. Always been dreaming about fighting with lightsabers and using the Force. So, definitely Star Wars.
Nice. Yeah, my son went through a lightsaber phase. Have you seen the really geeked out lightsabers that you can buy online? Surprisingly expensive, actually, but yeah, you can really nerd out on those. I appreciate it. Lukas, yeah, same for you. Favorite piece of science fiction?
I'll go with, I could lie that I've read the books, but I didn't. So I would say Three Body Problem that I've watched recently.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I wish I could lie. I won't lie and say, I've not read the books either, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I very much enjoyed the Netflix show. That was brilliant. That's
great.
Really good, really good. And surprisingly, actually, that's one of the most common answers to this question in the history of this show. So shout out the Three Body Problem.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Lukas, Don, this was fun. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us and sharing your vision for, AR, monster hunting, Seek Protocol. It's going to be cool. Close it out again just by telling people, where they can go to keep up with Seek Protocol. And of course, shout out the socials, your socials, anything you want. Please go for gold.
You want to start? I'll take it. I'll take over. So thank you, Andy, for having us. It was a real pleasure. If people want to keep up with Seek Protocol, just head to the website seekprotocol.ai. That's also where our pre-sale is live right now. And our socials at x.com/Seek Protocol. So we have Telegram. We can chat. We do AMAs, Twitter Spaces every week. We'll be hosting a lot more in the future. Keep an eye out for our announcements. Join our closed beta, and probably August is when the app is live, and you'll be hunting tokens in the real world.
Get ready to seek.
Get ready to seek.
Get ready to seek. I like it. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
All
the best, and bye for now.
Thank you, Andy. Have a good one.